The whale who swam through time. About 200 years ago. This is a story about a whale who will live a very, very long time. She is not just any kind of whale, but the bowhead whale, the longest living mammal in the world. Bowheads are one of the few species of whales that live their whole lives in and around the Arctic. At this moment, she rests with her mother in the quite cold water. Occasionally, they encounter boats, some small and paddled, and others much bigger with many sails. The biggest ones come from half a world away, seeking a sea passage connecting the Atlantic to the Pacific. The whale finds their large forms peculiar, but they seem harmless. The whale is just a calf, a bit longer than a rowboat. Within the year, she'll leave her mother and set off on her own. But before then, she has some important bowhead skills to learn. Her mother shows how to use her curved snout to break through thick sea ice with a thundering pow. No longer nursing from her mother, the whale must learn to feed herself. Instead of teeth, she has baleen, two walls of thick, long bristles on each side of her mouth. She uses her baleen to comb through the water, filtering out teeny critters to it. Her favorites are copepods, which drift around the Arctic waters in dense orange clouds. As the years pass, she eats more, and more. And she grows bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, 3 times longer and 25 years old, she is finally fully grown. The whale swims alone through the huge open sea. As big as she is, it still makes her feel small. About 150 years ago. Each spring, the sea ice retreats, and the whale migrates from open waters to a cozy bay. She calls to a calf. The 5th one she's had. The sounds travels easily in the calm water. Other kinds of whales spend their entire lives in communities, swimming, feeding, and singing together. Bowheads make their own way. They may travel with other bowheads during the migration, but they don't stay long. During the voyage, the whale's blubber helps her float, store energy to nurse her calf. But her blubber also makes her target for whalers who want to turn it into oil and food. They arrive in ships trailing black smoke. their engines filling the water with a rumble. It's louder than any noise the whale has ever heard, but she doesn't yet know to avoid the unfamiliar sound and the ships that make it. The whalers spot the whale and cuff, and the crew launches rowboats to follow them. A man aims and shoots a harpoon at the whale's back and narrowly misses. Alarmed, the whale and her calf dive deep down until the awful rumbling of the ship fades into the distance. About 50 years ago. The whale has lived for over 100 years. Even so, she still has many decades ahead of her. The whalers left long ago, but harpoons have been traded for massive oil drills, creating a new danger for the whale. The Arctic is getting noisier. Noisier and busier. The ping of a submarine sonar. The clang of a oil rig's machinery. The roar of a cargo ship's propeller. Now the ships aren't just at the surface, but below too. Submarines ply the ocean floor. Underneath, sound travels for many miles. Gone are the days of a quiet sea. In fact, all these noises make it hard for her to hear her grandchildren. She can barely make out their voices, and she fears she'll never hear them again. Today, day by day, month by month, year by year, the ocean is getting warmer. The whale is starting to notice less and less sea ice roofing her world. This new world brings new threats. Less ice means more open ocean and more ships with propeller blades that move too fast for whales to outswim. More ships also mean more oil spill. More plastics litter the ocean, looking like food but causing harm. And more fishing lines tangle around the flukes and flippers of whales. There's never been more peril or more people. Not all the changes are bad, though. A warmer Arctic brings more food and new whales. Most are friendly, but some are best avoided. The whale remembers when the world was calm, but the Arctic is changing faster and faster. She struggles to imagine what the world would be like for her great-grandchildren 200 more years into a murky future. But bowhead whales are used to swim in through uncertain waters.